mate, thank you for your time. We're here in Oregon, and you're the master blender for one of the world's most exciting single malt whiskies at the moment, an American single malt. What makes your blends so exciting?
Well, our whole approach to whiskey is wholly our own. It's unique. We are brewers making whiskey. Where we are in the world is a place that's known for growing excellent barley. So single malt was kind of the natural choice for us. But also being ex-brewers, we have this interesting approach to how we get flavor during our fermentations, during our distillations. It really is rooted in beer. And I think that's a new offering to the world of whiskey, really. Yeah.
It's what you're doing though as well. You're doing a few different things. You started off with your flagship whiskey now, and then every year you're playing with new ideas, whether they're Tempranillo casks or whether they're Pinot Noir casks or whether they're former beer casks. So you're having a lot of fun with this as well.
Well, I mean, whiskey should be fun, right? That's the idea. Yeah, look, we are, I think, challenging people's expectations, as far as what whiskey should be versus what it could be. We're looking to the future. And part of that is innovation, is experimentation, just kind of a new approach in how we make whiskey. Where we are, we've also got this great wine region, and so we have these wine casks that are, freshly emptied that we can use to great effect for our different blends and our different releases. And yeah, we draw a lot of inspiration from where we are in the Pacific Northwest, the climate, the culture, the natural abundance of this place. So yeah, I mean, really, it's just looking to our own backyard.
And when people talk about American whiskeys, the first thing that comes to mind is definitely bourbon. And
always. And
then we talk about blended or Tennessee whiskeys or blended whiskeys, and you're doing single malts. And,
we are, yeah.
And it's a growing a number in the country that are doing it. What makes it so special for you to do a single malt?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We're the weird Americans not making bourbon, But as I said, it's where we are. It's a sense of place that we're trying to imbue into the whiskey that really guides what we're doing. So it just felt like a natural choice. It really did. And as I said, we've got this great brewing heritage. It just for us felt more natural to use a malted barley rather than a corn. The other thing is, we want to bring this style of whiskey out to the whole world, right? And malt whiskey truly is the world whiskey. It's being made in every corner of the globe. And I feel like we're also in this distilling renaissance right now, everywhere. We're just getting these great malt whiskeys made. Obviously in Australia, Ireland's having this renaissance as well. Yeah, for us, I mean, we've been around almost 20 years, and it's just felt like, there's traditional values, right, that we have with whiskey, and that's great. And there's traditions just in general as far as process and approach. But my feeling is, innovation at one point, was an experiment, and some of those experimentations, they turned into tradition, right? You develop something that is unique and brings something new to the category. And from there, yeah, as you said, I mean, we have fun, we really do. Whiskey to me is 5 elements. Yes, it's grain, it's water, it's yeast, it's oak, and it's thyme. And there's myriad ways that you can, manipulate any one of those. As a distiller, you have the stylistic choice. So yeah, for us, the future of whiskey is more exciting than the past. Absolutely.
So a lot of it, like you said, comes down to what's in the local area for you as well. And obviously that's one of the reasons why you do a single malt, because the products around here in this part of the world are incredible, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. Yeah, and that's, again, a testament to, there's a lot of distillers now, making whiskey that have a belief in terroir, in a sense of place, and that, if you make it a certain way, you can instill a sense of place in your whiskey. And to me, that's just really exciting. Yeah.
It's so close to where your distillery is, some incredible wineries like you spoke about, and you're having a lot of fun with that as well. You're working with some tiny producers from a wine standpoint. So it really is about small batch and getting creative, and you've done some wonderful stuff with Tempranillo cask, for example, which I think is one of your best releases I've ever had.
Oh, thank you. Yes, these are people that we know personally, right? And that's just an advantage we have being where we are. And, that doesn't mean we don't still, go through a barrel broker to get some certain kind of something we would want. But, our vision really is just, to imbue this sense of the Pacific Northwest in where we are and bring what we have here out to the world. And yeah, we've got this amazing world-class wine region an hour away from the barrel house. We are getting these barrels in that are emptied that same day. They're just soaked with wine. And there's a variety of different wines being made. And so when we're picking these casks out, these are people we know. I'm a member of some of these wine clubs that they're part of. So yeah, we just have a great time with it. And that's the idea, is a vision, of course, but not to experiment just for the sake of experimentation, to kind of follow a line of thought. But yeah, just push the boundaries, see what else is out there.
And it comes down to one of the other things that you said is patience. And how important is patience when it comes to producing whiskey from a master blender's point of view?
I'll tell you what, well, I mean, yeah, obviously whiskey being an aged spirit, right? You're always thinking ahead. And yeah, if you don't have patience, whiskey will teach you patience. Absolutely. I mean, that's the name of the game. And so, yeah, I myself, I was a brewer, right? And so, the feedback loop on brewing is such a short amount of time, right? You make a change to the mash bill, or you try a different hop or something, and then within a few weeks you can see what's changed, right? Whereas, whiskey, you're talking, we're looking at 6 years at least when we age our whiskey. And so, yeah, you're definitely looking to be patient in your approach, but there's a kind of Zen sense that you get in making something and just kind of letting nature take over, right? And the climate that we have here, we're in a valley. We have the Pacific Ocean very close, but we also have desert very close, and we're kind of stuck in the middle. It's really an ideal environment for how the whiskey that we want to make is going to age. We have these hot, dry summers that are short, and then we have these wet, cool winters. So, honestly, I mean, Westwood is developed to be a younger whiskey. We're looking at, maybe, as I said, 6 years, and then this is a fully mature whiskey. How we see it develop in this unique climate is very different than, the traditional areas of whiskey, right? If you look at bourbon, we have Kentucky and Tennessee, which is very hot and very humid, or you look to Ireland or Scotland, and it's very cold and very humid. We're somewhere in the middle. We kind of got the best of both. Yeah.
And we talked about patience, and over the next couple of years, you've got a few exciting releases on the way. You must be excited about what you've got that's up your sleeve that's coming next as well.
Oh, always. Yeah, definitely. People often ask, what's your favorite release, and I'm always saying the next one. The next one that we're working on. Same with, I used to play music, and that was the same way. What's the favorite song you've ever written? Well, the next one, right? Because everything has always led up to this point. And so that's what we're doing, just kind of pushing things forward, always and forever. But yeah, obviously, working with some certain producers. The other great thing is where we are with all this malt, all this great barley being grown for malting, we're getting these boutique malt houses kind of popping up all around our area. Which means, the smaller ones can, pivot or be a little more flexible in our requests. So, we're working hand in hand with some of these maltsters who are, working with farmers. So, yeah, we're definitely pushing the envelope in that way.
It's exciting, and you're inspiring another generation of people coming through to want to do American single malts as well, and congrats on all the successes so far.
Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, we've been kind of a light in the darkness, a lone light for quite some time, but yeah, we've got a bunch of producers now doing this here and worldwide as well. So thank you. Yeah, we're gonna keep on making delicious whiskey.
We'll look forward to seeing more, and thank you so much for your time.
Cheers, my pleasure.